JP made it.
JP made it. Holy fuck, dude. Welcome back to the Wake and Bake. I'm the host, Blind James, like always. If you're tuning in, you guys already know where you can find us. If not, you'll find out at the end. All right, with me today, it's not even, well, we're in the oven, but we've been doing these Zoom things because of COVID. You know what? I'm getting vaccinated in a couple days. Super stoked about that. So this is going to be one of our last Zoom ones. But you know what? This is going to have to happen anyway because our dude is all the way out from Long Beach, California, Glenn Holdaway.
Hey. Thank you, guys.
Master. What's up, my dude?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Good to see you guys. And I just started thinking about it, man. It's been about a year since we've seen each other because the last time was at One Love in February last year.
Right, dude. And I love telling people the story about how we found you, how me and Waldo were literally just chilling backstage, man. And we heard you just running some scales, tuning up. And we were like, yo, that guy's got his shit on.
Who's this cat?
We were like, we got to go find that sound. And we ran into you, man. It's been a pleasure ever since.
Yeah, man. That was a different time, dude. It feels like a different lifetime, man. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, you know what, dude? I think me and Cooch were like patient zero and brought that shit back to Cleveland, dude. For real.
Nice, man.
Yeah, we caught a little fit of shit right when we got back, and we were like,
"Oh, for real?"
Yeah, dude.
Oh, damn, dude.
And then, like, you know, a month later, everybody's like, "Oh, new fucking virus, COVID." It started in California. And we were like, hey, man,
oh, dude,
doesn't this sound eerily similar to some shit that we went through like a month ago? And then, like, of course, you know, the symptoms and stuff come out, and we're like, hey, man, I think we might have brought that shit back to Cleveland.
Oh.
Not knowingly, of course, man. This was, again, way before anything was even announced about it. But, man, that was scary to even, you know, look back and think about because I was like, damn. That was one of like the worst like 6 that I've had for sure.
Yeah, dude. I've been lucky, man. I haven't caught it so far, so I've been pretty blessed in that. Because I'm like a brass player, so I've been worried about like the whole like lung impact and what that would be like. So I've just been trying to, you know, be careful and not like catch that shit. So I've been lucky so far, man. Because I definitely know a lot of people who've got it, and it's fucking serious, man. It's no joke. So
yeah, dude, playing horns has got to be, you know, that's one where that can knock out your whole fucking life.
Yeah, I hope not, but yeah.
you built a career out of, you know, playing brass and touring and recording and doing all that. That's a huge fucking thing. I can only imagine like some of the steps you had to take. Being out there on the West Coast, Long Beach itself, how were they? Because I only really hear about LA County for real being bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, Long Beach is technically part of LA County. We're just south of LA.
Oh, but dude, I didn't realize.
Yeah,
like stretched even that far.
Yeah. Like I think like in Long Beach, like we feel like we're kind of like our own city. Like we wouldn't call ourselves LA, but technically we are part of LA County. But yeah, dude, it's been serious, man. Like Long Beach has been pretty locked down for the whole year. We briefly opened back up for a little bit during the summer, but that was only like a month and we got shut down again. But now, as of like last week, we're back. So we got outdoor dining again, and we got live music starting to pop up again. I've been booking for a local venue, D Piazza's, and I'm really, really stoked about that to get live music back and going again, and especially with a team that we got at D Piazza's, we're really planning some really big things for the future. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked, man.
That's a big time legendary venue, man. A lot of bands, you know, especially in the reggae and ska community have came up through there.
Absolutely.
Is that how you got linked into, you know, all the bands that you jam and play with?
Dude, yeah, absolutely, man. Like, I got serious history with D Piazza's. My, back in 2010, I was a freshman in high school. And my first ever experience with reggae at all was at D Piazza's because Eric Hirschhorn, who now plays saxophone in Revolution, me and him went to high school together, and he's 2 years older than me. So at the time, he was a junior when I was a freshman, and he was playing in a lot of local reggae bands. And one of his first shows, he was playing at D Piazza's. He invited everybody. He's like, yeah, come down, check us out. And I'd never heard reggae before, but I just went down and looked at his band, and like from that moment on, like instantly just like loved at first sight, man. I like love reggae music, and I knew from that point on that was my dream to like play in a reggae band someday. And like my wildest dream was like, I just want to play a show at D Piazza's in a reggae band. Like I never thought I'd ever be doing the stuff I'm doing now, or like, you know, like working with D Piazza's and booking reggae bands for them. Like I'm in charge of the Reggae Sundays now. And it's kind of funny because just thinking back from just being that kid, like a freshman, just checking out the reggae shows there, to now being the guy like actually booking the bands for Reggae Sunday. It's a real trip, man. So
dude,
yeah, I love that place.
That's incredible. I do want to ask, man, so last time we interviewed you, we were at a festival. It was loud, man. So I kind of want to go over some of the things we talked about last time real quick. So, when you first get in and start playing, what were some of the first bands you started playing with in the reggae community out there?
Yeah, so my very first band is called, they were called Eureka Sound. And they're still very active, doing a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, they have a song with Nick Safakis from Ayaterra dropping later this week, I think, actually. So they're doing big things. Those guys are my brothers. I met them in Chipotle, actually. I was just eating a burrito, and then they walked in with and one of them was wearing a shirt, an Expanders shirt. So I was like, dude, I love your shirt. And we just started talking, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, like we play in a reggae band. I was like, well, I play the trumpet. And they're like, dude, we've been looking for a trumpet player. Can you join our band? I was like, hell yeah, dude. So that's how I got my very first reggae gig ever, just eating burritos at Chipotle and hanging out. So you never know.
That's awesome. I know we have a couple of friends, like our boys in this other reggae band, Audic Empire. Kind of the same thing. Like their guitarist now, Travis, is one of the most phenomenal musicians I've ever heard play live on a guitar. He was just a dude who kind of like knew of Audic Empire, tailed the band, but then caught them in a parking lot one time and was just like, hey, you guys are in a band, right? You need a guitar player? And then it turned out to be just a fucking match made in heaven.
Dude, that's how it works sometimes, man. I really believe that, like everything happens for a reason, and sometimes people are brought together, and it just works out. So at least that's kind of how it's been in my life. Like I never planned on being a professional musician. I never planned on doing any of this stuff. I've just kind of, just taking things one day at a time, and just weirdly things kind of work out for me. I just kind of, it's just crazy, man. Like I can't explain any of the stuff that's happened to me. It's just, just going through life, just trying to do the right thing and be a good person and be open to whatever life has in store for me, and just trust the journey, So.
I vibe with that, dude. Well, I think that's something I'm definitely flawed in that sort of realm of life, I guess you could call it. I'm a person who tries to force things. I'm very assertive, so I can take a page out of your book for sure. I think that's one of the things that I'm slowly learning the more and more I hang out with you reggae folks. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, dude, it's a hard line to walk, because I mean, obviously you don't want to just like sit around and be like, oh, well, like life is just going to work out. Cause it's, you obviously have to, work hard and, I guess try and have goals and stuff like that. But the way I kind of see it is like, if I do everything I'm supposed to do today, then tomorrow's going to work itself out. So all my job is today is just to be the best person I can be and do what's the next indicated step in front of me. And if I do all of those things, then I'm going to get where I want to go, or tomorrow's just going to work itself out. Like, cause if you'd asked me 5 years ago, like, what are your goals and all that? Like, I could have never thought of any of this stuff, and I would have been selling myself short, as a matter of fact. Like I would have never even dreamed that I could have done the things that I've done in these past 5 years. So I think for me, it's better to have, just focus on like, what do I have to do today, and how can I be the best version of myself today? And then tomorrow is going to be fine. And, it's going to work out.
Now let's talk about the last 5 years. You've played with some pretty big name bands in the reggae and ska community, and you still continue to play with some of those big name bands today. Let's talk about a couple of those that you've played with and who you're currently with.
Yeah, man. So, I think probably one of the biggest influence I would say that I've played with is definitely Fully Forward from Soul Syndicate, and he's really acted as my mentor over the past years. I met him when I was 19, and he's a legendary Jamaican bass player and reggae musician. He's recorded with Bob Marley. He was Peter Tosh's bass player. He's recorded Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brown, all the greats you could possibly think of. Like Fully has played with them. Yeah, dude, it's dude, crazy, man.
Interview that guy, Glenn. Hook a brother up. What the fuck,
yeah.
man? Damn.
Yeah, dude, he's an amazing guy, and like I said, I met him when I was super young. I was 19 and pretty much brand new on the scene. Like no one, really knew who I was or cared. I was just like this kid, But for some reason, he saw something in me and decided to take me under his wing. And he said, "Hey, just come start," because they used to do Reggae Sundays every week in Sunset Beach at this place called Don the Beachcomber. And he's like, "Hey, just come sit in with us, come jam." And I would just show up on Sundays and just come sit in with them and just play with them. And then, after a couple months of doing that, he's like, "I think you're ready to start doing some real shows." And he got me on Reggae on the River. And we backed up like Roy, who just passed away recently. We played with Big Youth, Randy Valentine, a bunch of other artists. We bagged 6 artists in a row. So it was kind of intimidating because we were on stage for like 4 hours nonstop. And it was pretty intense. That was like my first like major gig and my first like real reggae festival. And I was intimidated, but it was a life-changing event. And I really owe a lot to Mr. Fully Forward because he believed in me and really showed me that I could be a professional musician and that I could play shows of that level. Because I didn't think I was ready to do that. I didn't think. I don't know, just very scared and intimidated, but he's like, "No, man, you'll be fine. Just come with me, And I really feel grateful for him. And with him, that's who got me the gig with Don Carlos and Johnny Clark and Earl Zero, who else? Errol Dunkley. I don't know, a bunch like Everton Blender. We backed up like countless artists together, and it's all because of Fully. So. Yeah, Fully, Santa Davis, and Tony Chin from Soul Syndicate. Those guys are big mentors for me.
That's awesome. And since you got in it at a good young age doing it, is it intimidating going into some of those giant shows playing with legends and then like I can't imagine that feeling, man. Try to give me some of that.
Yeah, dude. At first it definitely was. I mean, like I said, I didn't think that I was ready. And actually, when Fully first gave me the call to do Reggae on the River, when I just turned 20 at that time, and I didn't think I was ready, quite frankly. Like I actually was about to call up a sub. I was going to call up a different trumpet player because I was like, dude, I don't want to go embarrass myself. Like, there's no way I'm ready to do this. And at the time, I was taking lessons with this guy named Andrew Carney. He was my trumpet teacher, and I went. And I told him about it. I was like, "Yeah, dude, I got this call to play this gig. It's in front of like 10,000 people, though. It's like one of the biggest reggae festivals in the country. And like, dude, like obviously I'm not ready for that. So I'm gonna get a sub." And then my teacher's like, "Wait, hold on. What'd you say? You're gonna get a sub?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can't do that." And he's like, "Well, okay. So who called you for this gig?" I said, "It's this guy Fully Forward." He's like, "Okay. Has he heard you play before?" I was like, "Yeah, we've been playing every Sunday for the past 4 or 5 months together." He's like, "Okay, so he's heard you play a lot." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you think he knows any other trumpet players?" I was like, "Yeah, of course. This dude's a legend." He's like, "Okay, so he's heard you play before and he knows other trumpet players. So why the hell do you think he called you? He called you for a reason. Like, go do the gig." And I was like, "Oh shit. Like, maybe he's right. Maybe he like picked me for a reason. I don't know why he would do that, but for some reason he did." And and like I said, I guess, he saw something in me and, he just really believed in me and took me under his wing. And it was just a totally life-changing experience. Like, I remember I did that festival, and the next day I went and quit my job because I was still working at In-N-Out at that time. I was still working a day job. Yeah.
I might have kept that job as like a 1 day a week just for the discount,
Dude, it was, I loved that job, man. Like, I really thought I was going to work at In-N-Out for the rest of my life because I just fucking loved it, man. Like, I was like, I could do this forever. Like, yeah.
And eating burgers, too.
Yeah, dude, I still eat there all the time, man. People ask me like, do you ever get sick of it? I'm like, no, dude, I fucking love In-N-Out.
Dog, we got to get you some of our home style, basically our In-N-Out's called Swenson's out here.
Swenson's.
Swenson's, man. Yo, it's LeBron James's favorite burger. It's my
Really?
favorite
Dude,
burger.
I've never heard of Swenson's, man. I got to write that down.
Dude, you gotta look that shit up, man. They got great milkshakes.
Only in Ohio. Right?
Yeah, only in, I think they might be expanding, but only in Ohio right now. So, dude, I gotta fly your ass out here, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Cali boy.
Dude, I'm definitely a fast food connoisseur when it comes to cheeseburgers and French fries. So
this would be tough to snuff, sir. I tell ya.
I think there's brown sugar in the meat.
There
I'm
is.
not gonna lie.
There's brown sugar and cinnamon in the meat.
I knew it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like kind of like a sweet flavor then.
Sweet meat, Glenn. Our Ohio sweet meat with cheese.
Oh, Ohio sweet meat.
Oh, it's delicious, sir. You're gonna love it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Being with some of those awesome bands and shit, man, what are some of the coolest places you got to visit and some of your favorite places?
Well, you know, I think that is easily Closer to the Sun. I did that gig last year at the end of 2019, and that's this big festival that Slightly Stupid puts on every year, and in I want to say Cancun. No, it's right near Cancun. It's in like Riviera Maya in Mexico. And dude, it's fucking amazing, dude. Like it's like you stay in this like beautiful resort on the beach. It's 24-hour room service. You can order food at any hour of the night and they bring it to you. Like it's just like amazing bands. Like, dude, it was fucking paradise, dude. Like that was probably the most I've ever felt like a rock star, dude. It was fucking amazing, dude. And that was like probably like one of the best weeks of my life was hanging out there. So I really hope that in 2021 we get to do that again, because this is a good time. I got to play with Don Carlos, Stick Figure, Fortunate Youth, and I sat in with Soja too.
Oh,
so it was, dude, it was so cool, man. Like it was just good vibes, man. And everyone, and you just get to hang out with everyone. Like all the bands are all down there, and everyone's just hanging out. And you can just go kick it with like Slightly Stupid or Stick Figure or like any of the other bands they had down there. Like I said, everyone's just hanging and partying in Mexico on the beach and just having a good time, dude. It's fucking amazing. So definitely recommend that to anyone who wants to go on vacation or just have a great time.
Hell yeah. Now I want to get back to talking about the place that you booked for. What's it called again? D
Piazzas. Yeah, D Piazzas.
Okay. They've been around forever, you know, bands like Sublime and stuff. They pretty much started out at that club, correct?
As far as I know, yeah, I think they did. But, you know, I remember even like more recent bands. Like I remember like Fortunate Youth and Tribal Seeds, and, you know, a lot of like the Cali reggae scene was kind of like cultivated there. I think that was like a real staple for a lot of like really popular Cali reggae bands that kind of, you know, were getting their start. So
definitely. Yeah. Now, playing at that joint now, did that turn you into more of a Cali roots reggae guy, or like a real rootsy reggae type of musician?
Well, I think I've always had a foot in both worlds. You know, obviously, like in high school, going to shows at D Piazzas and just watching local bands. Like I've always loved the local reggae scene. So I go in the Galaxy, which is now the Observatory in Santa Ana. I'd always go check out shows there, see like Fortunate Youth and stuff like that. So, you know, and Shoreline Jam, that was like the precursor to One Love Fest. It used to be at the Queen Mary, but it was way smaller, so it had more local bands and you know, stuff like that. So I've always loved like Cali reggae and island reggae and I don't know, and all that kind of stuff. But I've always loved roots reggae too. Like that's more of like what I would like when I was at home. That's more of like what I would listen to. Like I remember Steel Pulse was like the album Earth Crisis. Yeah, that's the album that like really like changed my life. That one, and then I don't know, with some other like I remember I loved like Rudical Rhythm. There's a band from Hawaii who now JC, the former lead singer of that band, is singer of Four Piece Band, which is another great band. And yeah, and Don Carlos, like that, he was my favorite reggae singer when I was in high school. So the trip, like jamming with him now, like yeah, and yeah,
mind fuck.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. And Barrington Levy was another like early influence of mine. And yeah, so I think I've always had, like I said, a foot in both worlds, because like I loved listening to roots reggae, but I also loved going to local shows at like DPiaz's or at Shoreline Jam or at the Observatory or just anywhere around Long Beach. There's always shows popping up. So I think a lot of people kind of want to like pin the scene against each other. Like you have to be like roots or you're like Cali reggae is not real reggae. But I don't know. I think it doesn't have to really be like that. I think you can just kind of enjoy them both for what they are. It's just,
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
Dude,
I don't know.
I agree with you so hard right there, man. Cause you can, it's like with me and like my favorite music of all time is metal, dude.
Oh yeah.
Metal gets broken down into 80 different subgenres.
Yeah.
Do the same thing with reggae, whether you're talking about that like Jamaican house music or just some straight, dub, or you're like you were saying, Cali roots to the roots to even just jam rock. Like it can be broken down into so many different categories. And but in all honesty, it's all one scene and one big happy type, vibe is what everybody kind of goes for.
Yeah, and I think like I think like classifying music is just kind of silly to me in some ways because I don't know, it's kind of human nature. Like people like to classify things so that way they can understand it better. That's why I think like another reason why like people are so obsessed with like race and stuff like that too in this country, because like they want to like I know like I have like people like friends who are Asian and they always complain. People are always like, oh, what are you? But it's like, why are people so obsessed with that? I think it's the same thing with music. They're like, what is that? Like, what kind of music is that? Like, what is this? But it's just like, you don't have to overanalyze that, just like take it for what it is. I think like people are so obsessed with like classifying things and like putting things in a box, and I think like it's kind of stupid too, because there's a lot of artists who I feel like they're either pigeonholes, like you have to be a reggae artist. And if they ever want to make a song that's like not reggae or something else, then people get mad at them for that. Or if you're like a rock band and you want to do something different, like people are like, no, you're a rock band. Like you can't do that. Or you're a reggae band. You can't do that. You can't do this. So I think like just people's obsession with wanting to like classify things or put things in like a box and like, oh, you have to do this because you're this, I think it's all just kind of like, I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if it's human nature or if that's just how it is in America.
It's easier for understanding something is huge because it makes people feel secure. And I can tell you that from firsthand experience. I'm the kind of person who loves to have things broke down categorically, timed out, scheduled. Like I'm very anal. There you go. You guys call me anal asshole. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's what it is like, it's especially for people that don't understand or are trying to better understand something like reggae music. They're like, you start to hear those subtle differences the more you listen to it, like with me, and then I could go, oh, okay, now I hear like that difference in the influence of like, oh, this band was definitely jamming, like you were saying, some Steel Pulse, where I can hear another band was listening to a No Doubt album even, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And but at the end of the day, it's all the same music, and it's all, one bit, it's a good vibe and a good scene, and it all coincides together.
Yeah. And, I think like there's also a flip side to that coin, because on one side of the coin is like, I don't think people should be so obsessed with like classifying music and like trying to put things in a box. But on the other side is like, in another sense, like I really love talking about like the history and the evolution of the music, right? Like in some sense, like for instance, if we go way back to the beginning of reggae, it's like, okay, like ska is kind of like the beginning, right? And then when did that change into like rocksteady? And then when did that change into like reggae? And then like from that came all these other subgenres. So in that sense, I think it's really interesting to go back and look at like, okay, that's ska, right? And that's what that is, right? And then it turned into rocksteady, and that's what that is. Like it's a different box, right? And it's different, and it marks like a different period of time and like a different kind of culture that went along with each of those movements, and a different like movement that kind of spawned from each of those genres, right? So in that sense, I think like talking about genres is really interesting, and I think that it's like essential to really understand like those different like the whole lineage of the music and like the way it branched out. So in that sense, like I think like genre is really interesting, and I do like delving into those things. But then on the other side is like I don't know, when people kind of want to label an artist like, oh, that's a reggae artist, or that's like a hip hop artist, or that's a whatever artist. Like I still think that just kind of puts people in boxes too much, and it kind of stifles creativity, because how are you supposed to be creative if it's like they cut off all the rest of your fingers and you only have like one. It's like why would you do that? Or like you tie one hand behind your back. It's like you can't just cut yourself off from other things, because what if you want to like do something else? I don't know. So I've been kind of
Music is an experiment, either way. You got to keep on like experimenting.
Constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, we even saw it with something I wanted to talk about, but we'll bring it up now as good a time as any, is the feature that we had you do on our buddy Gashley's Ghost song.
Oh yeah, that was awesome, man.
Did you by chance, did they release the video for that? Does anybody know?
I don't think they released the video for it yet.
Yet? Okay.
Yeah.
There's but that on that song was it had you on the horns, right? I was bopping the handies. That was Gashley on the guitar and vocals, and then Rex Larkman from Tropodelic did the drums.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so there'll be a video for that coming out soon. But right there's going to be a perfect example of how you're not in a box. You turned what was a straight, speedy acoustic punk rock song and turned it into like what I think is a ska hit.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's a fun song, man. And dude, what's funny is like when when you first hit me up for that, like for some reason, like I misunderstood you. I thought you were singing. I was like, oh wow, like James.
No, I have that project in the works right now. I'm gonna hit you up for
sick.
Soon. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The Blind James album, man.
Dude, I'm out there, man. I'm getting it, man. And that's funny because the guy that's producing all my music, actually, how I met him was we brought him on the show, and he's a dub house reggae producer, and
sick.
Right. So I went out to me and Cooch went out to his studio, interviewed him, and he gave me a full history lesson on reggae music, starting from the 50s with ska to where it is today with Cali rock reggae.
Yeah, man. And I'm super huge history nerd with all that stuff, man. Like I love that stuff. And again, kind of going back to my mentor fully, like that's another reason why it's so cool for me to be around him, because he lived through all of that. Like, and he played on like all those records, man, from ska to contemporary reggae. He's done it all, and like hearing his stories from over the years is super interesting to me. And I love hearing all that stuff and getting to pass down that knowledge or his experiences, and kind of, I guess be a part of his legacy. So.
Hell yeah. That's incredible, man. Well, Glenn, man, we're going to let you go. We're going to get out of here and do all our plugs and stuff like that. But before we do our stuff, we're going to let you plug what you got going on. So let's let people know where they can find you, all your music, the bands you're with, and your upcoming shows.
Yeah, so I got a couple things. So I'd say the first thing, I've got original music out. It's under my name, Glenn Holdaway. The song is called Reggae Medical. And I'm actually working on some new music too. And it kind of goes along with actually what we were talking about just now. Is I've got about 7 or 8 songs that I'm in the process of doing, but none of them are reggae songs at all. Like I kind of want to like shatter that expectation of like Glenn's like a reggae trumpet player. It's like, no, I want to do something like totally different. Of course, like I'll always love reggae, and I'm definitely gonna be making more reggae songs in the future. But I kind of want to hit people with a curveball too. So that I'm real stoked on that. So hopefully we'll be seeing that within the next.
Is it like Naz? What are you doing now? Because now I'm like, I really want to get a little
curious.
Yeah, I'm peaked over here.
Dude, it's some of it's pretty trippy. Like I try to like change some different stuff. I got some really trippy like acid jazz kind of stuff. I've got some like funk stuff. I got like kind of like a metal song on there. So like I got some different stuff on there, man. I want every song to sound totally different than the last one. I want it to be something that, again, just kind of like frees me from any box that that people might kind of expect from me, you know. So that's kind of my vision for that. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've got going on with my music. And then as far as just you know, shows and stuff, you can look out for D Piazza's in Long Beach. I'm going to be booking over there. We got Reggae Sundays. I'm starting some music on Thursdays as well over there. And we got some really, really big things planned over there. Yeah, me and the owner are both very we have the common vision of, like, especially when things open back up, like, we really want to put D Piazza's back on the map. Because I'd say about, you know, 10 years ago, D Piazza's was probably one of the most, like, relevant places for, you know, up and coming Cali reggae bands. And we kind of want to like revive that scene over there and make it like a staple for bands that are coming by, you know, we want them to be like, D Piazza is a place that like reggae is really vibrant there. It's like, we want to make, like, to help Long Beach have that, like, vibrant reggae scene again. So that's my vision for that, is we really, really want to, I don't know, just like I said, just do something for the city and make reggae like I want to see every place with a Reggae Sunday, dude. Like, I want everybody to I want everyone to be stoked on reggae, man. So that's our vision. We got some big things planned.
Dude, that's awesome. Because, yeah, Long Beach should definitely be the United States home of reggae.
That'd be fucking awesome.
That's for sure, man. And I definitely got a bunch of up and coming bands that I'd love to throw your way. I'm sure you know a few of them, but, you know, we got to get some shit worked out. You know, I like doing business as well. So
yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Yeah, send them over, and yeah, we'd love to have them.
Hell yeah, man. All right, dude. Well, we appreciate you so much. Again, thank you, my dude, and thank everybody for stopping by and waking and baking. You already know what it is. I got the co-host Don Cooch.
Yeah.
Hey.
Tell the people where they can find you, Cooch.
You can find me at Don_Cooch. That's Don_KOOCH on Instagram.
The man, the myth, the legend himself. And then our executive producer, Swaldo.
What up?
Tell them where, man.
You can go peep one of our old episodes, and you can catch me there.
Fuck yeah, you can. Fucking Swaldo, man. Thank you guys again for stopping by Waking and Baking. We're on all social media at The Wake and Bake OH. That's The Wake, letter N, Bake OH on all social media. YouTube, Spotify, all that. That's just The Wake and Bake. Check us out, man. Hook us up with some subscriptions, some likes, some follows. We love all that stuff, man. It's the best. Again, thank y'all for stopping by Waking and Baking. And remember, even if you lose your sight, never lose your vision. Peace. Hey.